A week ago, it looked like the US-China trade negotiators were close to a deal, but 2 tweets from Donald Trump upended that. At exactly 12:01 a.m. Eastern on Friday, the US increased tariffs on Chinese imports. $200 billion worth of goods were slapped with a 25% levy. That's up from the 10% tariff that the Trump administration put on Chinese imports last year. Trade talks have resumed, but the stakes have increased dramatically. China is now threatening to retaliate. Here's a look at what the increased tariffs mean for both countries and for future trade talks. Consumers were cushioned from the first round of US tariffs on Chinese exports because businesses absorbed a lot of those costs. The $200 billion worth of goods affected by the first levy were mainly items that manufacturers purchased, like semiconductors or metals. But it's easier for business to eat 10% of the cost than 25%. Now the increased tariff will apply to more than $40 billion worth of everyday items that Americans buy at stores like Target, Walmart, or Macy's. One study estimates that raising tariffs to 25% will cost the average American family of 4 more than $760 a year. Analysts say Beijing could also hike tariffs on US goods by as much as 25%. If the US imposes new tariffs on Chinese goods that have yet to be taxed, China could do the same to the US. But here's the catch: China doesn't import as much as the US does. The country imported $120 billion worth of American goods last year, but the US imported nearly $540 billion worth of goods from China. So a tit-for-tat tariff increase wouldn't be a huge blow to the US. If China wants the US to feel the same level of pain, it needs other tactics. Analysts say Beijing could delay US investment deals or propose mergers. Authorities could also make any sort of regulatory process for US companies, like audits or fire inspections, more cumbersome. Chinese negotiators, including Vice Premier Liu He, returned to Washington, D.C. to resume talks on Thursday. But unlike prior visits, Liu wasn't given the title of Special Envoy, which suggests that he doesn't have the power to make any significant concessions. That means he'll have to bring back any compromises to the leadership in Beijing for approval. A deal in the next few weeks seems unlikely. For now, both sides will have to keep negotiating and hope there are no more surprise tweets from Trump.